Hello and welcome to the Rogues Den Show. I am your beloved host, Daniel. And with me is my co-host, who is also beloved, but is wearing a hat.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hat this week because there was way too much receding hairline last week. I've also had a shave, dyed my beard, and I did a 5-minute workout.
Sounds about right.
I'm Kez. Welcome to the Rogues Den Show. Stick around because today we're going to be talking about movie tropes.
Movie tropes, good and bad.
Because we're the chosen ones. See what we did there?
We're the chosen two of us. Who chose us? We did.
All right.
So, movie tropes people think are bad automatically.
Okay.
But most movies...
Are bad automatically.
Most movies are bad automatically. You got all the DC ones. Those ones.
What are you doing?
Those ones.
Get out.
But
The DC ones are not bad. They're very, very good. Except for Birds of Prey. It's a Suicide Squad. Let me just keep going.
So
Yes.
movie tropes. They only matter if they're bad. If they're like everything else. They can be executed badly
Or if it's a Steven
or
Spielberg
well.
movie.
Unless it's the chosen one, in which case it's always bad. Okay, let's start with. We'll work up to the chosen one because I
Okay.
have things to say.
All right. Trope number 1, the ticking clock.
The ticking clock is relatively simple. If there wasn't a ticking clock, if there wasn't a thing, it's moving the plot forward.
Correct. Yep.
It's
It's a clock ticking.
It's literally a ticking clock. It's all about, you know that scene from Back to the Future with all the ticking clocks?
Yes.
That's the trope. It's not. It is the thing that's moving the plot forward. It could be like, by this time, a bomb will go off, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
A literal ticking clock.
Aliens will invade at this time. Yeah.
We have an hour before the aliens blow up the White House.
Correct. Ticking clock.
A lot of alien involved.
All right, number 2.
Wait a minute. What do you think about it?
Oh, what do I think about it?
Yes, we're not just listing the stuff. We needed to discuss it. What do you think about ticking clock as a concept? Yeah, you know.
Look, I think for the general purpose of moving a plot along, it works. Is it annoying? Can be. Is it cliche? 100%.
It's almost like it's a trope.
No way! That must be what we're discussing.
I think that this is the least egregious. If you tell me that you need an hour to do a thing, or a day or a week to do this thing,
That makes sense.
that makes sense. Like Coco. Coco has a ticking clock.
Oh, right. I was like, what, you're making Coco?
No, Coco has a ticking clock. If he doesn't get this done by a certain time, then he turns into a skeleton, goes away forever. That's a ticking clock.
Correct. Yeah.
All video games have some sort of ticking clock.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Independence Day.
Yeah, Independence Day, ticking clock.
Yeah.
That's
Jurassic Park. Funnily enough, ticking clock.
Really?
Yes.
What happens in that is the ticking clock?
So there's actually 2 subliminal ticking clocks. One is that the park is going to close unless you can get it signed off by Dr. Alan Grant as Elle Sadler and Ian Malcolm and the lawyer. And 2 is the storm.
Right. Okay.
So there you go.
Okay, that makes sense. See, subtle. You can be subtle or you can be obvious.
You can be subtle.
What's the second one? So I do like ticking clock. Ticking clock moves the plot along. If it's subtle, then it's not automatically good, but like it can be done well.
Yeah,
and
cool.
And it's in most plots.
All right, number 2. They're behind me, aren't they?
Oh, I hate this. Constantly, like it's either a horror thing or it's a comedy.
Always a horror thing.
It's sometimes a comedy thing.
Comedy, like, oh, the boss is standing right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never organic. It's never part of the plot. It's literally either just a gag, but it's never like part of the movie. I don't like it.
Yeah, that is true. Villains with terrible accuracy. Star Wars.
Oh,
Stormtroopers 101. You must not be able to shoot the enemy, therefore you automatically get accepted into Stormtrooper school.
What's weird about that specifically is that the stormtroopers, like before we see them, they're like, only a stormtrooper could have this accurate aim. Yeah. And then the rest of the series, they don't do jack shit.
Terrible accuracy. Also, like every chase scene under the sun, any form of shooting somebody from a moving vehicle, any of those things, standing in the same room, terrible accuracy.
The thing with this is that it only applies when they're hitting the heroes.
Yes.
If you see them like killing other people, but like missing the heroes because they get lucky or they are good.
In fact, there's one movie that's just come out recently, Daniel, that has terrible accuracy syndrome, and that is The Batman. When the bomb goes off, spoiler alert, the bomb goes off.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. When the bomb goes off, do you think they've switched off by now? When the bomb goes off and it's right in Batman's face. And it still doesn't get him.
That's not terrible accuracy though, that's just plot convenience. That's bad armor. He had...
His face!
He had a bomb-proof...
This much is exposed, plus the little itty eyes are exposed.
But, what if I told you...
And is his face melted? No.
What if I told you bat bomb repellent?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
No, it's not. It's rubbish. No.
All right, number 4. Guns never ran out of ammo.
Okay. Is that still a thing? Because I think that specifically...
They're starting to get a little bit more cluey about that. Everyone's finally hang on a second. If there's 9 rounds in a magazine... No.
Because I think that specifically John Wick, that series... They
definitely
specifically
bullet
call...
Count. They 100% bullet count.
They count the bullets. You see Keanu Reeves changing the guns around. So I think that this trope was a thing, especially in the 80s.
Yeah.
With Rambo, with his million guns.
Especially when they got a 6-shooter and they're still firing. And it's like, there is 6 rounds in this thing. You can see them.
It's one of those things that I think is getting better.
All right, number 5. I think, is this a trope? Shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, you get shot in the shoulder. I've been shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, but I can keep going. It's okay.
I can either keep going or no, go out at me. I'm definitely dying.
No, I can't go on. No.
It's like, shut up. You've been shot in the shoulder. You're fine. I like. There's one. There's one movie that I can remember. I forget the title, but where they're like, you've been shot in the shoulder. You're fine.
All right, number 6 is an unusual one. It's just a cat.
It's in horror movies. It's in horror movies specifically with jump scares.
Oh, yeah, jump scare films.
Yeah, when you think that like it's the villain, but it's just a cat.
It's just a cat.
I hate that because I don't like false jump scares because it's tricking you.
Yeah.
I like tension building. I think that horror movies have moved not past that because there's still bad horror movies, but a lot of good horror movies have moved past that.
Yeah. I don't know this one. It says hot but doesn't know it. I don't know what that means.
It's when you have in rom-coms, you're like...
Oh, yes.
In rom-coms, it's like, do you need a makeup or do you just need to take off your glasses?
They cast an Instagram supermodel and make her the girl next door.
Exactly.
And she doesn't know that she's hot.
Exactly. But also, have you noticed in all of those makeovers, they remove the glasses?
Yes.
Did you buy contacts?
Yes.
You can't just not wear glasses.
Sometimes
watch this.
Works really. Oh, whoa! You're so attractive.
I'm sexy, but I can't see a thing.
oh.
See, it's bad. It's like a Clark Kent.
It worked in The Witcher.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was supposed to be deformed, and then she turned hot.
Yeah, but that's like an actual magic thing. It's like it's like in Princess Diaries. When they do the makeup thing?
Number 8, a dream conveys plot information. Oh my God, this happens so many times.
That is literally the entire plot of Batman vs Superman. That happens, that's the whole thing, all of it.
Number 9, cutting hair to convey trauma.
Cutting hair that happens in a ton of action movies.
Is that a trope?
It happens a lot when in female-led action movies, they have the long hair, then they cut it to like, I've been scarred. I must have.
I'm a prisoner, so therefore my head is trimmed.
Yeah, and frankly, the fact that they have trauma and have given themselves that good a haircut is impressive.
Yeah, okay. Last but not least, enhance.
Oh, CSI.
This is my favorite.
I love this.
Enhance.
Oh God,
Enhance.
I love that.
And hats. I love Super Troopers. Have you seen that movie?
Super Troopers is pretty good, but I really like that in cop shows.
Yeah, or they can like somehow surgically identify somebody from a blurred picture 5,000 miles away when like New South Wales post pictures of clearly not great CCTV footage and go, do you know this man?
What I love is so Law and Order is infamous for this.
Oh yeah.
They do this all the time,
Yeah.
but there is an episode of Law and Order
They
where
must use Topaz Labs. Do you get those ads?
Yeah. So with Law and Order, there is an episode of Law and Order where it's basically like a lawyer is arguing all the tropes that they have.
Yeah.
Like with that information, like the enhanced information.
You know what wasn't listed on our list of tropes that should be? Oh, we got more. We have to be really quick because we're running out of time.
Fine.
All right.
In
We've
that
got
case-
company. That always happens.
Yeah.
But we've got company.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
Though.
That can stay. That's
I
all right.
want that.
Yeah. The medicine cabinet reflection scene.
Oh, yeah, that's in every horror movie.
Everyone, yeah.
It's usually a female. They're checking the medicine cabinet. They do that, and then there's a stabby guy.
Don't die on me, and then they live.
No, they always die. Don't die on me. No, you can't die. It's like, no, I must die.
Any kind of hacking scene. Yes. All they need is a laptop, and they're in.
Okay, we can't move on because my favorite hacking scene is in NCIS where they do double hacking.
Oh yes,
They do,
I know exactly the scene you're talking about.
They do competitive hacking. You got this hacker who's like, no, you're doing it wrong. Move.
Double hacking.
Ah! And then type with me.
Oh,
then they do this.
And then they get in.
And then they get in. Teamwork.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Fine, keep it.
That's all right, Indiana Jones, all good.
Yeah.
Being a nerd for something not that nerdy. English, please. Not really. Geniuses who know everything.
Okay, so
You always got to have somebody who just knows everything.
But like, you have like with most people, they specialize in a specific field.
Okay, there's no time to explain.
Oh.
That's the next trope.
Okay, forget this. This is too long. The most important one is the chosen one.
The
trope.
chosen one.
I hate the chosen one trope for two reasons.
Yeah.
One, this vague prophecy because Harry Potter did it, and then everyone copied Harry Potter without knowing.
I'm pretty
why that
sure it
worked.
happened long before Harry Potter.
It did, but like the one that made it bad is Harry Potter. Because
Did it?
everyone's copying Harry Potter. Harry Potter did it well because they introduced the character first. And they made it so that the prophecy was barely mattered. Because for like 2 books, they're like, hey, you know
the
what?
chosen one.
No, but for 2 books, this is what happened. We must see to the future. And then Hermione's like, well, fuck off. That's stupid and you know it. It's clearly
That's
bullshit.
exactly what she said. 100% in the film, made the final cut. Hermione said, fuck off.
Yeah, she basically did, and then when we hear that the prophecy happens, Dumbledore's like, yes, but the reason that it works with you is because without the prophecy, you'd still do it. And I'm like, cool.
And that is an uncanny impression of Dumbledore.
I fucking nailed it. I did the first guy. But the problem is that the chosen one is also my favorite trope.
Yeah.
Because there's also there's also stuff like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
Neo.
Matrix, yep.
Where it's not the prophecy has happened, except for Neo.
Yeah.
But like the prophecy has happened, but rather, hey, you can do it. I believe in you.
Well, there can be only one Highlander, and that is our section on movie tropes. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure you could think of many more. Coming up next is Josh Fiddles, and he's going to talk about trucks.
Trucks.
Yeah. So here we are with Josh, and he's going to talk about
trucks.
Trucks.
Australian trucks and how
Just
they
Australian
work.
Trucks?
Yes, just Australian
Right,
trucks.
Just Australian trucks.
Australian trucks are some of the biggest trucks in the world on epic journeys, and Australia relies on them.
Yes, without our trucks, there'd be no goods.
There'll be no goods.
No nothing, really.
No foods, no nothing.
Yeah, not even air.
Not even air.
Maybe some air.
The trucks are these trucks can be all shapes and sizes and can be up to 53.5 meters long in the outback for a road train, or up to 4 trailers long.
That's right. You did talk about road trains on episode 2.
Yes, I did in episode 2 of the Outback. I briefly mentioned
Right.
it.
So what kind of trucks do we have in Australia?
We have B doubles, semi-trailers. We have rigid trucks.
What's a rigid truck?
A rigid truck is slightly below a semi-trailer truck.
Oh, okay.
Is below that.
Is that like those flatbed ones that carry lots of sort of reinforcement whenever they're going to a building site or things like that?
Yeah, it's one of those trucks. It's the garbage trucks are those as well. They're the rigid trucks as well.
Removalist truck?
Yeah, they're rigid as well.
See, I'm already learning.
Yeah.
Trucks.
Some of these trucks have really wide loads and have to have a police escort or a pilot vehicle to escort them
Actually,
to other
a
areas.
friend of mine does that for a living. She's a pilot driver.
Is she?
Yeah, and her husband works for one of the biggest trucking companies in Australia. I don't know whether you know Megatilt. Have you heard of Megatilt?
I think I've heard of Megatilt.
All their trucks are painted up like the Transformers.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. All the most common trucks you'll see on motorways and highways are semi-trailers, B-doubles, flat-top trucks and supermarket trucks. So example, Coles, Audi and Woolworths,
Woolies, good
etc.
old Woolies.
But you'll get the idea. You'll get the idea when we say what trucks on the motorway.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah. All right, where do our trucks cover in Australia?
They cover Australia wide.
Oh, everywhere.
Everywhere.
There you go. Do they go out to the islands as well?
Yes, they go out to Tasmania and but not the small islands.
Yeah, okay.
Kangaroo Island, yes. But
Oh, really?
yes, and Kangaroo Island.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
How long does it take for a truck to get from Perth to Sydney?
About 3 days, I think.
Wow.
3 to 4 days it takes.
That's a big journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would it be cheaper to put it in a train than in a truck?
It'd be cheaper to put it on a train than a truck.
Yeah, okay. They probably do that more often.
Some of the remote places in Australia, you have to use a road train to get supplies in because there's no railway lines, and the road train is the only way you can get vital supplies in.
We don't have railway everywhere. So
No, we don't have.
good on the truckers.
Yeah.
What else can you tell us about trucks, Joshy?
Everything you use on a daily basis comes to us on a truck. The computer that you're staring at, even the camera that you're using, even the equipment we're using in this podcast came on a truck. Even your car ride by truck.
Do you know how many wheels a semi-trailer has?
It has, I think it's 20, is it 30 20, 18 wheels.
That's why they call it an 18-wheeler.
18 wheelers.
There you go.
Yes.
See, I knew something about trucks.
Yeah.
I knew that knowledge would come in handy one day. Today it served me well.
The trucks you see emptying our curbside bins have got a dual steering wheel or 2 steering wheels.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
they can drive on the left-hand side to pick up the bins.
That means I could be driving a truck right now.
Yeah, you could be driving a big truck.
What happens, all right, if you're driving the dual wheel one and I'm driving the dual wheel one and you turn that way and I turn that way? Does the truck split in half?
No, it's the steering wheel turns in the same direction. They go the same way. Even though you're driving on the left-hand side, it still turns the same way.
Okay.
Even though you're driving on the left side.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I tried to pull you then, but I couldn't. You're too smart for me. What else happens with our trucks?
Our trucks go through heavy vehicle inspections.
Oh yeah, there's one at Mount White actually.
Yes, there's one at Mount White and some around.
I accidentally drove through it the other day because I took the wrong turn off.
Did you? Yeah, trucks undergo inspections all the time.
Actually, it was just so I could test whether my car was overweight or not.
Yeah, they go through inspections at various times of the year.
Yeah.
And they get there. And they get the one service, so they get checked over by Roads and Maritime.
And what's that for? Why do they check them?
To make sure they're not overweight or not defective.
Yeah, okay. And what happens if they're overweight? What could happen?
Well, then they can't drive it.
That's right, because otherwise their brakes won't work correctly.
Otherwise the brakes won't work, and it might have
danger to somebody else.
It might cause more of a risk of an accident.
That's right. That's exactly right.
The truck licenses that you can have in Australia can go from LR to MC.
Oh, what's that stand for?
LR is short for light rigid.
Yep.
And MC is the biggest, multi-combinations. That allows you to drive the road trains, B doubles, and the low loaders and the oversized loads.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty interesting. What else can you tell us about trucks?
They even carry things like buses on the back if they're going from.
That is true. They do too.
Yeah.
And can you name some of the biggest trucking companies in Australia?
There's Linfox.
Yes, correct.
There's Coles, Woolworths.
Yeah. What else?
I think Toll's another big
Toll
one.
is a
Toll,
biggie.
another big one. Australia Post. Yes.
Yeah. Very good. What's your favourite type of truck?
My favourite type of truck would be the road trains.
Yeah, you love your road trains.
Yeah, I love my road trains.
What about manufacturer?
Kenworth.
Oh, he's a Kenworth
I love
boy.
Kenworths. I love big Kenworths.
What about a Mack?
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, it's all right. Did you hear that, Mac? He says it's all right.
It's all right. The reason I like
Up the Kennies.
The reason I like the big Kenworths is because they're the ones that can do the biggest runs around the country.
Yeah, okay. What about our mining trucks?
Yeah, they're pretty big as well.
They're huge.
They're huge.
In fact, if you were to stand next to the tyre of a mining truck, you wouldn't even come up to its rim.
No, you wouldn't be. You wouldn't be as high as that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Joshy. Well, thank you so very much for this amazing little tidbit on trucks around Australia. Stick around because Scott Golding is next and he's going to talk to you about all manner of things. Stick around.
Goodbye.
Ah, gotcha. You thought we were going to Scott Golding, but actually, we're still here.
We're still
talking about trucks and still with Josh Fiddles.
Still with Josh Fiddles. Still with me.
So, fooled you. Or did I?
Fooled you.
All right, what were you going to tell us?
We were going to tell about the safety of trucks
Oh,
and
the
the signs that you might
safety
see
of
and the signs you'll see on the back of
Forget
trucks.
the safety
You'll
of
see
trucks.
signs saying "Do not overtake turning vehicle,"
Yes.
long vehicle, oversized, road train, dual control, and left-hand drive signs you'll find on some trucks.
That's right. And why is it important not to overtake a turning vehicle?
Well, because it takes up 2 lanes when turning.
That is exactly
It can take up the
right.
entire road length to turn
And could crush you.
and could get squashed.
The other thing is too is don't cut off trucks.
Don't cut off trucks when
They take a lot longer to stop than a car.
The other one is that if you see a garbage truck with its flashing lights on and emptying the bins, that means it's driving on the left-hand side.
That's
it's driving left-hand
true.
drive.
Yeah.
In Australia, if it's left-hand drive in Australia, or in America, it's the other way around.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Is that everything on safety?
There's a little bit more on safety.
Oh, yep. What's next?
You have to radio all trucks have CB radios and they can communicate with other truck drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Breaker, 10-4.
and you can also
Just like that. That's what it sounds like.
and there's also other safety measures like oversized loads, so that they'll warn you that the truck is oversized or overweight.
Yeah, that's when they're carrying something and it sort of hangs
That's
over the
heavy
edge.
or wider than usual, or takes up the entire road length.
Maybe that needs to go on a diet.
No, it's just because it's heavy. It's big. That's because these loads are big, heavy, and they're wide.
Okay.
And they take up the whole road length.
The whole road length.
Yeah.
All of it.
That's why most of these loads can only be moved during the night while we're sleeping. Yeah.
What about like maximum height
Maximum height they can.
and gross tonnage as well?
We can have up to 115 tons fully loaded in the outback.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that is heavy.
Yeah, and most trucks in suburbia will be about a quarter of that.
Yeah, okay.
A quarter of 115 tons.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. There's some more safety features about trucks.
Yes.
Now, this time we are actually going to cross over.
Thanks, Dan. Welcome to Rusi's Corner. Our topic this week, the Oscars. The Oscars commenced on Monday, March 28th at the Dolby Theatre, Hollywood, California at 11 o'clock in the morning. Will Smith and Chris Rock, coincidentally, who starred on an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the 1990s, got involved in an incident as the evening progressed. As Chris Rock was reading the nominations for the Best Documentary, opening up with a comedic performance, Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, resembling a character from G.I. Jane. Chris Rock made the joke, quote, "Jada, I love you, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it." Jada took offence to the joke and in seconds resulted in Will Smith slapping Chris Rock as an act of defence for his wife's medical illness, alopecia. Alopecia, for those who don't know what it is a medical illness which results in hair loss. Later on, Will Smith approached the stage to receive his Oscar award for Best Actor, to then apologise to the nominees, the Academy, and those attending who had witnessed the altercation. Will Smith uploaded an apology posted on Instagram and quote, "I would like to apologise publicly to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong." We'll be back next week with another topic. In the meantime, it's back to
Well, that was interesting. Thank you again for joining us on the Rogues Den show. I've been Kez.
I've been Daniel.
And join us next week when we're going to talk about...
We'll figure it out later. See ya!